Hello children, we all know that this is the first lecture of our online class. Last year you were in 9th standard, but this year you are in 10, and you know that this SSC standard 10 is one of the most important years of your schooling. So I am going to discuss a very important topic with you today, that is from our social science textbook, Unit 1, Heritage of India. Early in the morning, when we come to school, we have assembly, and you all know that how beautiful assemblies we have in Hebron. In that assembly we are having pledge also, that is national pledge. We begin with India is my country, and there is a line, I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. Now, even it is mentioned in our oath that I am proud of its rich and varied heritage. So this shows that this heritage is very, very important. Now you might be thinking, okay, what is heritage? No? This word might be revolving in your mind. Okay, what is heritage? So heritage is a gift that we get from our forefathers, or whatever we inherit from generation to generation, that is called heritage. India is called the land of ancient culture. You know why? Because from the beginning, so many people like Huns, Kushan, British, they came and they settled down in India, and they mingled with India. They mixed with India. In Vishnu Puran, which is a very ancient scripture, it is written that Uttar yat samudrasya himadrasya dakshinam varstad bharat nama bharati yatra sansati. What does it mean? We know that it is written in Sanskrit, but the meaning of this sentence is, this shlokas is, India has its natural boundaries from Himalayas, that is from north to South India, that we are having ocean. Got it? And from east to west. The total area of India is 32,87,263 kilometers, and it extends 3,214 kilometers from north to south, and 2,933 from east to west, or we can say west to east or east to west. Now, as I told you, okay, India was a land of ancient culture. Why? Exchange of different culture. As different people came here, they settled down, they mingled with India, they Indianized themselves, and the most important thing here, they accepted the values of non-violence and peace. We know that Indian people are peace-loving. We do not believe in violence. We always believe in non-violence. Even Gandhiji said that, he always believe in non-violence. Our second part goes to, now, as I told you, what is heritage? I have explained you, okay, heritage is a gift that we get from forefather, or it's a gift from generation to generation. Now here second term is culture. What is culture? What do you mean by word culture? So culture is a way of life. How you are living your life, how you are passing your life, how do you lead your life, that comes under culture. Or we can say that culture is a sum total of our habits, customs, values, tradition. Here we can divide this heritage into two, natural heritage and cultural heritage. So what is natural heritage? Natural heritage means a relationship between nature, man and environment. We know that we human beings are associated with environment, with nature. So when we have a relationship between nature, man and environment. We call it as natural heritage. And what is cultural heritage? Whatever man creates with his talent, ability and skill, that is called cultural heritage. So in natural heritage, we are having landscapes, that is different shapes of land. If we talk about the Himalayas are beautiful landscapes. There are Tarai forest, brimming rivers, different types of animals are found there, different pilgrimage places like Amarnath, Kedarnath, Badrinath, these all are located in Himalayas. Let's move to rivers. Okay? From the beginning, you know the rivers are very important, as they are called Lok Mata, that's mother of people. Why they are called Lok Mata, mother of people? Because our civilization, that is Indus civilizations, these people of Indus civilization, they settled down on the river, and this river provides us water, which is useful in cooking, plastering, irrigation, farming, and even the scene near the river at the dawn and dusk. Dawn means, children? Yes, early morning. And you know what is dusk? Evening. So the scene at rivers at dawn and dusk, it's very aesthetic. It looks very beautiful. Our next is vegetation. Indian peoples are environment lover, and this suggests environment lover. So we love vegetation also. Even some vegetations are worshipped in India, like tulsi, people, banyan. These are worshipped in India, and this vegetation provides food to people. So this vegetation play a very important role. Our next is wildlife. We people of India are lover of animals. Different types of animals like lion, deer, fox, rabbit, cow, these all are found in India. Even some animals are accepted as the vehicles of gods and goddesses. In Hindu mythology, some animals are accepted as the vehicles of gods and goddesses. But we, the people, we are killing down this animal, we are hunting these animals, and therefore our government has created national reserves and certain laws have been implemented. Next point, if we go to cultural heritage, I gave you the definition. What is cultural heritage? Whatever the man creates with his talent, ability and skill is called cultural heritage. So we know, you might have seen big buildings, churches, temples, mosques, bridges. What are these? These all are created by man with his skill, with his ability, with his talent, with his tact and wisdom. So generally, this whatever is created through the ability of man is called cultural heritage. Now children, in homework, what you have to do? You have to write down the difference between natural heritage and cultural heritage. You have to write a short note on heritage. You have to define culture, and you have to write down why India is called the land of different culture. Thank you. I hope you might have enjoyed this lesson.